Hey, welcome back to the Hillside Garden. My name is Dave, and today what we're going to do is show you a little update on my magnolia trees that I've started from seed. Way back in, I want to say, February or March time frame, I did the cold stratification. I made a video about that. I'll leave a link up above there for when I started my magnolia trees from seed. And these are just the typical Southern Magnolia. I believe it's Magnolia Grandiflora. Anyways, it's right after Labor Day, and these guys took a long time to, there's a weed in there, took a long time to germinate, but you know, they really do start slow, but these guys are pretty healthy. The leaves are a dark green, very healthy, very tough leaves there, developing a nice, you can see right there, right, my finger's in the way, nice little thickness to the stem kind of starting to develop on these three. Right there's another one. So yeah, maybe they're not growing so fast, and it doesn't look like they are from the outside, but I had to up pot these about a month ago because they had roots growing out the bottom. And I swear these roots, if you have, what is this, probably 4 or 5 inches of top growth right here, no joke, at least a foot, maybe 18 inches on, I want to say this one had at least about 18 inches worth of roots, extending below. And these guys, well, the roots were coiled up around it. I couldn't believe how big the roots had gotten till they'd actually grown outside of the pot and actually a little bit into the soil. So yeah, be very careful if you leave a pot like this with an open bottom, such as these, just your nursery containers, repurposed nursery containers right here. Yeah, they started growing through the bottom of the drainage holes and into the soil, so you had to very gently remove some of those, but you know, be careful because you could stunt the growth a little bit. But yeah, so after just a little bit of time, you know, these things are going to take 15 years to bloom. All right, so 15 years is a long time. That's a big investment. It's a big commitment. But you know what? It's all about having fun and growing things and just watching it grow over time. If you want some, immediate gratification, plant some tulip bulbs or plant rose bushes or something that's already, a 5-gallon pot from a nursery and let it bloom and just enjoy it then, or if you want just the challenge, because these trees are extremely difficult to germinate. For one, of my 10 to 15 seeds I planted, I think 4, maybe 5 germinated, and 2, of course, are not here. So, these 3 are going to survive. Hopefully, overwintering them is going to be my first challenge because I think that might be when they'll be most vulnerable. But just a little note, what I learned this year is if you imagine the natural cycle of this magnolia tree is these guys are going to be growing in the understory of their parent trees. Okay, so keep this in a nice, it needs to get sunlight, but not full blazing sun. It needs a nice afternoon shade. This location I had them in here gets morning sun up until about 2 to 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock in the longest days of summer, and then it gets shade, but not dark shade. It does get enough shade that it's actually gonna, I'm sitting here right now at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's definitely usable light. It's just not bright direct sun, which is on the other side of the house. Anyways, so it's a tip I think I should probably pass on to you guys. Keep it out of direct, bright, blazing sunlight, at least for the first couple years. Imagine this as an understory tree growing in the protection of leaf litter and things like that in a moist, damp, cooler environment until it's old enough to really start taking off and being able to withstand some things like that. As far as feeding has gone, I think I've maybe fed these probably once a month. I really do try to avoid chemical fertilizers, but as these are trees, and this is a big investment, there's only so much nutrients inside of these I don't know if these are 1-gallon pots or whatever they are, just recycled nursery pots from things I've bought before. 2.3 quarts, as it says down here. So 2.3 quarts, and these will not be up potted until next year. So, I like to give them just a little bit, not much, just some all-purpose organic granular fertilizer. Sprinkle it on top, let it kind of get in there. So yeah, after, it's been about 6 months of growth, probably about May when they first started sprouting, maybe April, it's now Labor Day, so September. We're looking at 6 months worth of growth. This may be what you can expect. Now, if you've grown magnolias yourself, you've had better results. Maybe where you live is a better climate. Maybe it's more humid, less humid, hotter, drier, wetter, whatever your local circumstances may be. Maybe it's a little bit more conducive to growing the magnolia tree, because I believe technically by the textbooks, they'll all tell you in my zone they're not even hardy. but in my neighborhood there's at least 20 of these trees, and this is where I got some of the seeds. So, you know, there's always microclimates or plants that may be adapted to a specific location. But there you go. So guys, this little quick update on my magnolia trees that I have grown from seed this year. And while I got you here, it's off the subject, I just want to show you something real quick. Zooming out. This is my wisteria that's also been grown from seed. Check out the leaves on that. It's looking pretty cool. I'm going to try to keep this in a container and do something sort of a bonsai approach to it. Maybe get like a trellis or something like that. And here's some little guys here, some more wisteria. Definitely overcrowded in that pot, but that's okay. They'll be divided up in the spring. But yeah, I've always been fascinated with maybe like put things on a trellis or something like that, because these have what I've been told. I've never personally experienced the wisteria flowers and the scent of them, but apparently it's amazing and it's really awesome. Yeah, but however, the deer will eat them. I tried to plant one at my grandparents' house, and within 3 days it was eaten to the ground. I not even just nibbled the leaves off. I mean, it ate it to the absolute ground. So there's something to keep that in mind. So plant it maybe in a pot, in a container, on your deck, something like that, unless your deer just don't like the wisteria. In my experience, I'd have to say otherwise, unfortunately. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up here, guys, and kind of getting a little bit long-winded, but just a little Labor Day update on my magnolia trees. They're doing awesome. I was a little skeptical and worried this early spring. It might have just been because they were brought outside too early and the cold weather was getting to them. I'm not sure, but these guys are tough. Tons of roots, and just a cool feature right here. A little bit of the stem right there has been exposed, and it's producing a little bit of aerial roots. So yeah, if you're into bonsai or something like that, that's actually a pretty cool feature. You might be able to exploit that maybe for some characteristics, or maybe you just want to keep it in a pot and watch it develop. And you know, that's cool. Just find some little nuanced things about your plants. It's not always about the end result. If you're growing these for flowers, you got 15 years and you're probably going to burn out and you're going to get tired of waiting. So enjoy the journey. That's what it's all about, guys. When you plant some seeds, it's all about the journey of just watching something grow, watching something develop, and you know, just going along for the ride. So this is Dave, the Hillside Gardener. I'll be signing off here. You guys, I hope you enjoyed your Labor Day weekend. Whenever it is you're watching this video, hope whatever the day that is, you're enjoying that one as well. So we'll catch you next time. Bye.